Thanks for, yes, continue.
Sorry.
I hear this. What I was saying, yeah, so I'm so grateful to be here and to share our story and to be able to talk about our what have you been doing, in the middle of the pandemic. So this photo is when we decided to grow some vegetables. And then I saw the space and then I could not say no. I said for Brian, so let's do here because we can bring up our friends, we can have a fun, we can grow some vegetables. And then both of us were always interested in the environment and in the conservation of the earth. So I'm from Brazil and he's from Ireland. And even though we come from completely different places, we were both worried about where our food was coming from. So I guess everybody knows. So Ireland ship a lot of food from Chile, from Spain, from Netherlands as well. So how they conserve this food, and I was talking with a friend this morning, and we were talking about the tomatoes she bought from the grocery store. And she said, oh my God, if I leave the tomatoes there for 1 month, they will last, and why? Because I am a producer. And then if I leave my produce for more than 2 weeks, 10 days, won't last. What's the difference between them? So that was our questions. We had these questions in our brains, like where the food come from, how can we help to save the world, consuming less chicken or meat. We tried to be vegan as well, but didn't work out for us. I appreciate who is strong enough to go down this road because it's tough. And then we began look at growing our own food. This all happened just before the lockdown, like the decision, like let's grow the food, and then the lockdown came, and then was what we had on the moment. Like we didn't have work. Brian shut down his business, the business which he has with his father. And I was working on the moment in McDonald's, and we're closed as well. So, and then we had these questions, and then we had the opportunity, we have the place. So we started have fun, really fun, because it's amazing. I remember when we bought the polytunnel, our first polytunnel, and we bought a lot of seedlings as well. And then we went to Garrettstown for the weekend in Brian's father's house. And when we came back, I was like, oh my gosh, they need water. The weather was really, really good. I guess it was really hot, so they need water. And then I ran to the polytunnel and they were there. And then I screamed, and Brian, oh my God, what's going on? He just appeared inside of the polytunnel. And then I said, we have a babies. Like we had a lot of seedlings, babies that day. And then I found incredible, because I don't have a background in farming, or my family. My grandmother used to grow tomatoes, but she never had the opportunity to show me. So this is how everything started. So with those questions. And then our first move was to do, okay, let's do the Instagram, let's do the logo. And then we did everything on our own. We chose the colors of the logo, and then we chose the crops. When we bought the seedling, the seeds, was like, okay, let's buy everything and to see how we're getting on. So, and then that was the other stage of the farm, like when we really decided to go as work as a business. And then our old polytunnel blew up in one of those, how can I explain that? It was like a very hard wind. And then we bought, okay, so let's work on this. So let's make this as a business. And then we bought this polytunnel. Is like a polycarbonate. So inside on a hot day is very hot. It's like a 45 degrees inside. It's like a little Brazil on Cork City Center. And yeah, so when we realized that this is Brian, guys, and then this is our chicken coop. We have 6 chickens, our first 6 chickens. Today we have 400 on the countryside. We produce 2,000 eggs per week at the moment. And then between that thought going for business, Brian went to, I don't know if the guys have heard about Richard Parkins. So this guy is very famous because he came up with the idea to regenerate the soil. Instead putting fertilizer, instead tilling, instead destroy the soil, he decided to regenerate the soil and as well sequester the carbon from the air. I try to explain just because sometimes the words are a little bit hard, but yeah, so between that, save our lives, we find out that we could save the world as well, because this type of agriculture can save the land, like regenerate and build it up, the microbes inside of the earth. So this was our first crop, our first tomatoes, our first carrots, our first, peas, yeah, radish, potatoes. So, and then that's the technique we use inside of the countryside, like 30 minutes from here. This was our first event on the rooftop. We participate on the cultural night. It was amazing. 4 girls, I forgot their names, but they are just amazing. They came here to play some Irish music. Oh, I was delighted. But at the moment, because of COVID, we could not dancing or be close of each other, but it was just amazing. I call a friend as well. She's a local producer. She built hangs. Do you know hang plants? She built that. She made with her hand, and then I put on the stage some of the plants with her hangs. Oh, it was insane. It was amazing. So let's coming back here a little bit. Yeah, so that's the towers where we produce most of our products. So with we have a 60 towers, grow towers, hydroponic towers. So how this work? Because we have a very short space on the rooftop, we decided to find a solution, you know, try to find a solution to be able to how can I say this? Instead grow just like we have 55 beds on the rooftop. So it could be very, very hard to produce for 10 families. And then we find out that if we went for a hydroponic farm, we could have a more produce in a short space. Like our polytunnel now has 20 meters by 7, and then I have 60 towers, so I can feed around 50 families per week, more or less. So at the moment we have 15 varieties of salads. I have 3 types of lettuce. I have herbs as well. I have a mint, I have a charge. So we have a very large variety of food there, and delicious food. This is the place on the countryside. So this is how everything starts there. As you can see, had a little bit grass, just a small house, and we needed to buy compost, seeds again, all the tools and materials to be able to produce a large quantity. And in there, we work with a method called CSA. It's like a partnership, you know, you pay in advance for your veg box. Like we started to deliver the veg box last week, and it was just amazing to see how people is interacting, you know, with us, with our idea. This is the chicken coop. This is where the chickens, the 400 hens lives on the countryside. Yeah, so we work with this method called CSA, and then it's like a community support. You pay in advance for the veg box. Like we started to sell the veg box on November, December, and then now we are delivering, as I said. So it's just amazing to see people interacting, you know, and believing in us, believing that we were doing for us, you know, producing good food and local food for us. We decided to grow for the whole city center. So I'm so happy. Do you have a questions? If you don't understand something, let me know, please.
Thank you for sharing that. It's such a cool project, and I love it. I'd love to come and see it someday.
Oh,
so
please.
Yeah, so the slide I've up is like, are you hoping to kind of turn things into a cafe and stuff in future, or?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's where it's funny how everything was linked, because when we decided to do a farm on the rooftop, we didn't realize we had like Brian's father's has a store just down below, just in front of the farmer's market. And then we didn't know that. It wasn't planned. But as everything was growing, like we had Dermot Gavin intervening us in our early days. And then that was insane, you know, it was amazing. Someone in a very, very high position, believing in our story. And as I said, we have just a store down below. And then because all the bus, and then because we decided to go as a business, grow as a business, we saw the opportunity there. We saw the store, and then we started to plan how that could look in the future. And then we made our plans, like we made like a flow. We want people come to the rooftop and then go down and pass through the mall, through the store, and then be able to eat fresh food and delicious food, nutritious food. Yeah, that's our dream.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Thayane?
Can I ask one kind of boring question? Where's she gone? Can I see her? It's Thayane, is it?
Yes. How are you?
Just about, who does the roof belong to?
Brian's father's.
Oh, so it's actually his property.
Yeah.
And did you have to do much research about whether the roof could take your activity and the weight of the beds and everything? Did you have a survey done or something?
Yes. So we have an engineer. He checked everything, and when we made like a plan to buy the earth, to buy the soil properly and compost because of the weight. He called someone, this expert, and then he checked everything. They make like a hole through the roof, just to see what's the density.
Yeah.
Yes, and then we are secure.
Cool. And did you have a crane getting the stuff up, or was it just like a JCB or something?
Yes. Oh my God! If you go through our Instagram or to our page, you will see we record everything. Like we have everything documented. And then that day was crazy because we had literally a grabber. Bringing everything, every single stuff, special the soil and the compost. Oh my God, was like a dream.
Yeah, it's a really exciting idea. I'll look at your website. Yeah, good for you.
And where can you buy the produce, Thayane? Like if I wanted to go and get something tomorrow, where could I get it?
That's the fun part, because that's really, really excited. As I said to you, we didn't plan, but everything was at our door. Like when you come to the city center, just by, do you know where is TK Maxx? Yeah. Every Saturday has like a farmer's market there. So you can go there, and we will be at number 7. And I think in a few days we'll be able to bring people into the farm. So very exciting. And then we can share everything and show everything, what we are doing, what techniques we are using. And we are friendly farm. So the most interesting part of the hydroponic towers is that we are using less land, less water as well. And sorry guys, someone was calling me. Sorry. Okay. Hello, I'm back.
You're back. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of lost. Sorry. Yeah. So we are just by the Corner Market Street, number 7. So we have a microgreens, we have a mixed salad, Asian salads, we have a lettuce, have a delicious produce.
Brilliant. Amazing. That's yeah. And like, I know we were chatting yesterday on the phone about how like it's just so easy to go into Tesco and to the big supermarkets to pick up your vegetables, and I feel like it's a little bit more to go to a farmer's market. You have to kind of put more time in your day to go to them, or kind of plan your day a bit better, and things like that. But it's amazing to know that there's people like you growing in Ireland and producing stuff in Ireland. And I, for one, want to start consuming more vegetables that's like grown here. And I wish more was like, it's when you go into like the shop and you see like even tomatoes and stuff, they're all grown in like very far away countries from Ireland and stuff. So it's important. And to like, I suppose like the whole theme of our program is think global, act local, and you have to think about the global in all this and the climate change issues that is affecting farmers in the global south. Like, you know, there is evidence showing that the emissions that we're producing in the global north, to say, it's causing effects for farmers in countries, in other countries, and they're suffering from it. And it is our responsibility to try and reduce that. Drought and flood is probably the two main causes of, especially like in East Africa, and it's happening more frequently as well. So it's just something else to kind of think about in all this too. And
I have some friends as well. They have how can I say this? They support some families there. Like the project just started with 10 families. Now they have 90 families. And it's crazy how too little of us, like 10 euro, 20 euro, make totally difference for them. And they don't have a school. I don't know how schools works here, but in Brazil, we have a public school. It's not as good as a private school, but still, you know, you got some knowledge from there. But they don't have anything. They don't have a food. They don't have work. They don't have education. And then everything comes from education, because once you know who you are, from where the food comes from, you know where you are going, you know. So I think it's very important give to them a support. And if we can do something, let me know.
I think we have a question. Miss Dora, do you want to raise your hand there? Yeah.
I just followed your Instagram. It looks amazing. I was just wondering, since you're a fairly new business, is there a lot of employees? And are you working a lot of hours at the moment, or how is it going?
Oh, yes. Being a farmer means you don't have a actual time for you, because, for example, I need to start to water the plants around 6. That's the best time. My harvest day, I need to start to harvest around 6 because it's the best time for the plants. Having animals as well, they have their time, you know, and then I am kind of need to adjust everything. But thank God, so everything is going well. And we are not making a lot of money because it was a lot of input on the beginning, but obviously we need a lot of help, because having 2 farms is not an easy thing. So we have 2 people, 2 employees on the countryside, and I stay in the city center all the time. So I work between 14 hours, 16 hours per day, you know, just to be able to sell a good produce on Saturday on this farmer's market. So the interesting fact about the hydroponic towers as well is that I have produced in a short period of time. Do you know what I mean? Because all my environment is controlled. Like I have heater inside, I have a light inside, I have nutrients on the bottom distributed for the plants. Like they are in the tubes, as you see. And then at the bottom, I have a nutrient for the plants around to go through the water, through the towers. How can I say this? Yeah, so they have everything. So I can have a salads, for example. I can have a lettuce, I can have a mustard, I can have a Asian salads in 15 days, you know, because they have everything they need. And then compared to the land at the moment, because of the bad weather, so everything there is delayed. Like I should be delivering my veg box earlier this year, like in the first weekend on the first weekend in May, but because of the weather I could not. So thank God, because I have the towers, and then I kind of splitted the products through the actual market, and the CSAs as well. So yeah, it's a lot of work.
I'm just conscious of time. We're coming up to 2:00. I just wanted to also kind of mention like the work that Serve does as well with our partners in terms of like farming and stuff. So we've Serve work have partners with Young Africa in Southern Africa, and some volunteers even on the call today have worked in the Dondo Agricultural Tech in Mozambique. So it's skills training and educating people to become farmers themselves. And we've also been supporting a partner in Assumption Parish in Zambia this year on like sustainable projects using farming and the produce that they make on the farm to give money back to the community, to put into like investing in the youth in the community as well. And teaching young people how to grow their own food has been the forefront of one of our long-term volunteers, Darren, in Zambia this year. He's taken on like a lot of youths, and they come into the centre, and he's been teaching them how to grow their own produce as well. Because you know they have the ability to do it, which is great.
That's
and
amazing.
It doesn't require much investment either. You know, it's just time. And it's really good as well, because it's teaching them not just growing food, but it's giving them like that sense of responsibility of having to come back every day and water them and tend to them.
Yeah.
They're learning a lot of other skills in it too, which is great. So we're very proud to be like supporting projects like that for people in the global south too.
That's amazing. So maybe I can share through the farm as well, and then we can get more donations.
Oh yeah, that would be great. So I just wanted to wrap up really. I know there was one, I think somebody else had their hand up. If it's a quick question and a quick answer, we could throw it in, but if not, we'll move on.
Oh, that was me, I think. I was just going to ask if you know when the cafe and restaurant are planned on opening.
Sorry, can you say it again?
Do you know when the cafe and restaurant, do you have a timeline for when we can come and have a coffee on the rooftop?
So we have, we have a talk with 51 Conomarcus Street. So we are planning with them to make like a collab. But again, so it's a lot of work to do. And I'm not sure, maybe for the beginning of the next year, but it will be amazing just to grab a coffee, you know, to sit up here and a little bit sun. Yeah, definitely. Next year, hopefully. Thanks for your question.
Oh, thank you. It's amazing.
Thank you for joining us today. It was really interesting. A very, very cool idea. I really want to go and see it. And next time I'm in the city and
the door is open.
Yeah, perfect.
And for everybody as well. So just give me a shout.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So we'll close this session. So I'll stop recording.